Mission Motorsport is a rehabilitation charity for wounded, injured and sick servicemen. It came about really from a desire to help some of my guys. I was commanding the armoured group in Afghanistan in 2011 and had a large population of guys who were affected by that tour, from the obvious amputees and the victims of trauma through to those whose injuries were less obvious but equally were suffering. The critical way in which we help is by helping to inspire them to use sport for all the reasons that we know that sport can be restorative and healing. It's a very effective way to get somebody who is withdrawn off the sofa and engaged in something. Added to that now, we have a training function that's delivering level 3 diplomas and full apprenticeships to help guys retrain into the automotive industry.
Mission Motorsport has been around for only about 3.5 years now, but it's a pretty incredible charity. I was serving in Afghanistan in 2011 when I got severely injured by an improvised explosive device. I spent nearly 3 weeks in a coma, 2 months in hospital and over 2 years in rehabilitation. You know you're going to be medically discharged from the military at some point. And it's charities like Mission Motorsport that really kind of lead you on that recovery path.
Driving for Mission Motorsport for me began last year. What I found was a family. The military is quite a close group of people and I was kind of missing that. To have somebody looking from the outside in that you trust and say, look, you're maybe needing to get some help. Chances are they've been in the exact same position, they've needed help at some point as well. You take it on board.
I saw a leaflet saying Mission Motorsport. It looked amazing, and then here I am a year later, actually part of the crew.
I joined the army in 1991 and I was medically discharged in 2013. At the time I was suffering from PTSD. I couldn't go places, meet new people or anything like that. I had an invite to go to Mission Motorsport's launch day. My wife, she basically forced me to go. Showed my wife the pictures on my phone and she recognised Jim Cameron. 30 seconds later, he's on the phone to me saying, right, you're coming to Silverstone. And it all sort of started from there.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's fantastic to be able to welcome you to this Remembrance Day parade as part of the Race of Remembrance weekend, to pay our respects and to remember those who've died in 2 world wars and in other conflicts.
The racing side of life is the sexy bit that everyone sees, but there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes.
It's helped me massively with the transition period. It's just great being around guys that know your situation and they get it, and you have Mission Motorsport to fall back on.
With me racing, I have to speak to people, meet new people. I did that and then gradually I found it easier and easier and easier.
When I find myself slipping away, going into a dark place, get the laptop out, look at my lines and use it to just distract myself from what's going on in my head.
I knew I wanted to do something with my life that I was passionate about. So I set up my own business building custom carbon bicycles. Charity enabled me to go on some courses, to get some qualifications, and they helped me with networking.
It's presenting wonderful opportunities that I would never have got before.
The dream would be to be a professional racing driver. Realistically, will that happen? Maybe not. I'll go as far as I can and just keep enjoying it.
When I talk about Mission Motorsport, it makes me smile. They're very inspirational. It's like a new family. Everyone knows each other, everyone is a big, happy family.
I'll still have bad days. Yeah, don't get me wrong, when I feel a bit sad or I just want to be by myself and things like that. But it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be.
I can't stress enough how important and how much of a family Mission Motorsport is.
I consider myself to be one of the luckiest people around because I get to work with soldiers.
If you're in the same position that I was 3 years ago, just take a brave pill. And all it takes is an email. Everybody that's involved with it knows what you're going through. They've probably been through stuff like that themselves, and just get in touch and they'll get back in touch with you.